Hello, welcome to Dream Team Scout. This is your boy Tage for another episode of the Sun Dream Team Game Week Fantasy Game Week 19, should I say. Now, this game week is a bit different because it's the FA Cup week. So, what you get with that is our core players, or should I say, our core players in our teams more likely will get rested, rotated, just to give the French players a good run. They're facing teams playing in the Championship, League 1, League 2. And then, so it's going to be, it's a bit of a tricky one. So just to recap on last game week, I got 117 points after the Fulham game. It wasn't the best move bringing in Diaz and Robinson this game week. Terrible move from myself. I'm lagging behind, totally lagging behind against the major players in the Sun Dream Team Fantasy. But listen, sometimes I'm not brave enough to do what I scout, but yeah, it is what it is. So I scored 117 points. Looking across the table, the average, the highest points I've seen so far is about 150, 160. So points were there to be had this game week. So I just sort of flopped it, but in my 100, so all good. So yeah, for this game week, I'll be targeting players. I'm looking at it from my perspective, you see. So I'm targeting players that could get me that little boost because teams are similar. Teams are similar, and you're trying to, make that break. It's like every little helps like Tesco now. You're trying to bridge that gap in your mini league, in the overall league. So, it's a tough one. So I'm just looking at a pool of players this game week that I feel like would play against these oppositions in the Championship, in League 1, League 2, National League, and give us that 15 points. And then or 20 points, or the braces that we need. And if we're brave enough, can we captain these guys? That's the thing. Can we captain these guys? But it is what it is. So let's roll. Let's get into it. So let me not waste not too much time. To be fair, I should be calling this game week FA Cup special. First player on my targeted list would be Harvey Barnes for Newcastle. He's 3 million. He only got 3 points this past game week, considering that he's not starting those games. He's just coming on. Newcastle in great form, so I don't expect him to do him to be in the side. But against a team like Bromley, facing a team, in League 2 mid-table, and with 30 goals conceded in 24 games, so Harvey Barnes could get a run up top, considering the fact that Isak might get arrested. So it could be someone that you sort of bring in, just to let you know, if you are going to bring him in, he's going to be losing and going down, dropping in value, by at least by 100k. So just be able to factor that in mind. But the end justifies the means. So if you're going to bring him in and he gets you that brace and you captain him, who knows? But then in the Fulham game against Wolves, expect him to be on the bench. So it's a double game week, but these players will probably play just the one game. But you have to be certain that these players will give you that push that you might not be able to get from your key player, your a player that plays regular in your team. So I would say Harvey Barnes, for just hold buy and hold him for the game week 19 only. Alternatively, you should have this guy right now. Golden is 5 million. He's got 150 points. Or you could bring in Isak for 5.9 and is 189 points. But once again, most people across the leagues have these guys because Newcastle are in great form. If you don't have these guys, then I would say bring in these guys and try to solidify your position. But Harvey Barnes is worth a gamble. It's worth a gamble on this one. And then moving to the second player on my list, on my list would be Savinho from Man City. He's 4 million. He should be going up by 200k. He scored 15 points v West Ham this game week. He scored a total of 133 points. It's average of 5.5 points per game. Best performing points is 15. So this is good. This is good reading. So once again, if you're taking a gamble with Savinho, and the way Pep rotates, if he does play against Salford City, and it's a home at the City, it's a home, so the pitch is going to be stretched. So I could see him having a field day. So It's worth considering. The guy's got 25 points from his last 2 games, and if he, like I said, if he does get the none, he's bound to get some good points. So I would say buy and hold, which I've previously recommended in the previous game weeks. So it's worth a shout. Alternatively, you could go for a Doku, who's 4.4 million and 93 points. The thing is with Doku, even though they'll be playing Salford City, I don't see Doku scoring a brace or whatever. He's not. I don't think he's that hungry, goal hungry. It might come up with the assist and might dazzle a little bit, but yeah, I would lean more towards Savinho on his 4 million, and it should be increasing. And City are, I don't want to say they're back or they're picking up form, but they're coasting by just a bit, in a good way, should I say. So yeah, that would be for Savinho. And then the third player on my list would be from Spurs, Johnson. It's 3.8 million. His last game week points was 6, which wasn't a great. Didn't start both games. Came on to get 3 points at Liverpool, Newcastle. Scored a total of 169 points, which is great reading considering the fact that he's not been in the team for a while. But we all know he wasn't that great run at the start of the season. So that's sort of boosted him up with the points. He's averaging 5.6 points, like the other guys I've recommended on this list. Savinho previously. So his best performing points is 11. I don't know if that's right. Is that right? Best performing points from Johnson being 11. That's interesting. Let's just double check that again. You know, sometimes when we do this and we make these notes, let's just have a quick look. Yeah, best performing points in a single game is 11 points. Wow. So yeah, so I don't know, but then they've got Tamworth away. I could see him getting a brace for Spurs. I see Spurs definitely starting him, you know, starting the likes of him, Werner. That could be a problem for them. And Tamworth for a National League side, so points haul might be crazy here. So he's definitely starting. So he's worth a shout. The only thing is the next game is against Arsenal. More likely to be on the bench. This is what I'm talking about with this FA Cup special. Whoever you're gonna bring in, you know, if you're taking a gamble, then I'm going to play both games. So it's all down to you, man. It's all down to you, my friend. And that's for Johnson. And then if we're going over to Chelsea, I've said Madueke, who's been awful. Yeah, I'll say he's been awful. He's got a total of 112 points. I think his only highlight this season was the hat-trick he scored second game into the season, which was Yonk's away. But he's 2.6 million. It's very cheap. You know, he's got the only 1 point at V Palace last game week. He's got he's averaging 5.6 points, which is okay, like the other guys on the list. Best performing points we've just spoken about with regards to the hat trick he got many weeks ago. Chelsea have got Morecambe at home, and then they've got Bournemouth at home as well. Now I don't see Madueke starting the game against Bournemouth, but a good performance could, you know, push, you know, Maresca to start him, because Chelsea right now are not firing on all cylinders. I don't see the likes of Cole Palmer and the lot starting against Morecambe, but who knows? We don't know what these managers are thinking. And at this point, there's no point in me suggesting Palmer or Salah and all of these guys, because you should have them in your team. These are the core players in the Sun Dream Team fantasy right now. So I would say Madueke, and it's only a gamble for this week only, and you know, I'm working my team in the relegation zone of League 2. So he possibly could start, and you know, and he's worth a risk. It's worth a risk. If you're trying to make those points, you never know. And then if anyone's brave enough, who knows? So yeah, that's with that. And then I've got Eze as my final guy on the list for Crystal Palace. He's 4.9. Should be going up by 100k. He scored 7 points v Chelsea the last game week with the assist. Scored a total of 146 points, averaging 7.3. Considering the guy that was playing in Europe, he had it. But we know with Crystal Palace and Glazer, the manager, he plays a full strength side in the cup competition. So we should expect Eze to start against Stockport at home. And then the good thing about that is that Leicester, they're playing Leicester away, and Leicester do concede goals. So if you've got the funds to bring in Eze, I would probably say going with a shout for him. Game week 19 only also would be the key for that for this week. Alternatively, you could go for, if you go Munoz in defense, it's 4 million. He's got 126 points. You could bring him in. I expect a clean sheet against Stockport if he starts. Like, seriously, for real. Nothing less at all. So there you have it. It's just these small pool of players, you know, quick, straight to the point. You know, the likes of Salah, Palmer, you know, we all have them. Another one that I thought about was Gakpo. But I don't know if he might get rested. You see, I don't know if he might get rested. So yeah, and that is what's been having me, and that in fact would lead me to my next point. Speaking about the Liverpool players, I'm thinking, who do we captain this game week? Who? I mean, I wouldn't blame people for playing, you know, doing a max captain, honestly, because it's quite tricky. It's Sapui, or you could go for Palmer. Don't see him starting against Morecambe, so that's against Bournemouth. Salah, I don't see him starting against Accrington Stanley. Yeah, then you're looking at the only Forest game. Isak, don't see him starting against Bromley, Wolves. You know, it's so maybe you could even look towards Man United, because you know, United they'll be playing, you know, Arsenal and, you know, in the FA Cup, and then probably Southampton. So you might look like Fernandes, you know, or I don't know, it's tricky. Or we might look at, I don't know, it's a tricky one. And I even thought about Ahmad for United, but I don't know. The Southampton game is one that you could target, you know, to get some good points coming in. But considering him being a striker, that's the reason why I didn't really put him and suggest him on this list. So honestly, to be fair, I would have my choices of captains this game week, but I'm not too sure. But if I was to sort of lean heavy, I'll probably say I'm thinking between Isak and Haaland. Haaland against Brentford, and he's going to get rested. Isak against Wolves. I think Forest are a stronger position, so Salah might get an assist. Who knows? Might get a goal regardless of form. So it's down to you guys. It's between Isak, Haaland, Salah, Palmer, and one of the differentials if you're brave enough to captain and maybe an Eze. And yeah, see how that works out for you guys. All right. So those would be my captain choices. Looking into my transfers for this game week. As you can see, I got Iwobi, Diaz, Robinson. Wasn't the best game week for me with regards to Diaz, bringing him in. But Iwobi has been in my team for a few weeks now. Let's just have a quick look. He's been in my team since game week 16, should I say. So yeah, game week 16. So he's done his 2 weeks. Not really been that successful with the points he's made me. I would be sort of looking to, you know, get him out, because where he's got me from game week 16 is 10 points, 14, 17, 20 points in 5 games. So it's literally 4 points per game. So not good enough. If I'm gonna try to do well in my mini league, considering, you know, the National League is gone for me. So yeah, I will probably say he will be out for me, and I might lean towards. I might lean towards Crystal Palace. You know, with the Eze, because I know he's definitely going to play both games, and then I might do a Munoz in defense as well. So it could be a double Palace, or I could count my losses and do Iwobi, for Eze, and don't trust Diaz, and take off Diaz for either one of Johnson or a Chelsea player, even Nkuku. I didn't even mention Nkuku. Alternatively, if you're not doing a Madueke, I don't know if I've done a Madueke, you could go for Nkuku. So up front, by leaving Diaz and taking off, but no, that wouldn't even make sense to do it. Yeah, it's a dilemma for me, but yeah, might do the double Palace or Eze and maybe Johnson, you know, because, you know, they're playing the National League side in time for. I might do Barnes because, you know, they're playing Bromley. But then Madueke because it's Morecambe. I don't know. But I definitely told you he will be definitely leaving my team. Yeah, so it's either it will be in Diaz leaving my team or it will be in Robinson. Everyone else I'm happy with. But yeah, it is what it is, man. Your DreamTeam Scout over and out. Let me know. Like, share, and subscribe. I'm out.